From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Monday, December 15th. We are in dangerously cold temperatures outside this morning in the single digits, and it's not going to get that much better as the day goes on. We will climb to the mid-20s, but the wind chill is going to be brutal despite the sunshine. Here's meteorologist Marcus Bailey with what is ahead for the day.
Not in the freezer for long. I know that does not help matters here this morning. It is a Storm Track 8 weather alert day with that cold weather advisory. 1 below still at the airport. South wind at 6. Chills are at 13 below 0. 1 below in Kokomo, 4 below in Lafayette, 2 below in Bloomington, and 3 below in Columbus. 1 above in Muncie. All right. Wind chills still 10 to 15 degrees below 0 for most. It is an improvement compared to this time yesterday when we were tracking wind chills as low as 25 below 0. But this is still dangerous enough. It is rough to start. 15 by noon, 25 for your high. That is an improvement. Yesterday, we couldn't even get out of the single digits. And I do think we will get our wind chills in positive territory for the first time since Saturday night. So it's been about a 30-hour stretch. That should happen around lunchtime, and chills will stay in the low teens through later on into the afternoon hours. Temperatures low to mid-20s across central Indiana. So again, 15 degrees below average for this time of year, but it is the last really frigid day. We will gradually warm things up. I think we're above freezing as early as tomorrow afternoon.
What can 160 years of experience teach you about the future? When it comes to protecting what matters, Pacific Life provides life insurance, retirement income, and employee benefits for people and businesses building a more confident tomorrow. Strategies rooted in strength and backed by experience. Ask a financial professional how Pacific Life can help you today. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York. Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
The dangerously cold temperatures have left some roads ice and snow covered this morning. We have a lot of schools on delay, including IPS on a 2-hour delay. News 8's Colin Bailey went out this morning to keep an eye on conditions in Mobile News Tracker. Here's what he encountered at around 6 a.m.
They are a little slick. It's been, like I mentioned it for the last hour or so, it's these neighborhood roads. You can see here we're on Eagles Perch Drive just off 38th Street on the northwest side of the city. That they're pretty snow covered still. Obviously, people have driven over them to pack that snow down, but you could see kind of the one lane passable in the middle. This is what it looks like, and this has been the story all morning long. Earlier, we were in a neighborhood not that far from here, and it was the same story as those snowpack covered roads. A lot of the main thoroughfares are in great shape. We took 38th Street over here. All 3 lanes both ways were in good shape. On one of the side roads over on the way over here, it almost seemed like the 2 lanes on each way, about a lane or maybe a half a lane were plowed. So it's just those side streets are really the story all morning long in these neighborhoods. Main thoroughfares are in good shape, but it's been a busy weekend for IMPD. Since the beginning of the storm, IMPD, they've responded to 138 vehicle crashes, 42 slide-offs, and 27 disabled vehicles since Saturday, since the winter weather began. Through the weekend, though, the Indy Department of Public Works, they hired some contractors to plow priority 2 and 3 roadways. Those contractors, they were supposed to do 1 passable lane down the middle of the street if possible. Obviously, this is kind of what we've noticed as well, as those kind of passable streets. A lot of the neighborhoods, though, they look just like this, just very snow-packed, obviously with all the vehicles driving over it for the last 2 days, and then you get the cold temps to freeze everything out. But as we continue to monitor the roads all morning long, we'll make sure to keep you covered. But again, if you're taking those main thoroughfares or even the interstates, you should be in good shape this morning. For now, here in Mobile News Tracker, I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
10 counties are still under travel watches. The State Department of Homeland Security says that includes Park, Clay, Owen, Bartholomew, Decatur, Jackson, Jennings, Ripley, Switzerland, and Ohio counties. A travel watch means conditions are threatening and only essential travel is recommended. Many other counties are under travel advisories, too. That means that you should just be cautious and avoid the areas if you can. Okay, we are following breaking news overnight in L.A. Police have confirmed that the actor and director, Rob Reiner, and his wife, Michele Reiner, were found dead at their home in the upscale Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. The Associated Press is reporting that police believe someone stabbed the Reiners and that investigators are questioning a family member. Now, People magazine is reporting that the couple's son, Nick, is accused of killing them. People magazine says that's according to multiple sources who have spoken with family members. Police, though, have not confirmed this or any arrest in the case. Firefighters say they found the bodies around 3:30 on Sunday afternoon. Reiner was the son of comedy legend Carl Reiner and was a Hollywood staple for 6 decades. First as an actor in the hit sitcom All in the Family. Later, Reiner became one of the most prolific directors in Hollywood.
I've often said, no matter what happens to me, I'll always be, I could win the Nobel Prize. They'll say, Meathead wins Nobel.
Rob Reiner needn't have worried. Yes, he was known for playing Meathead on All in the Family, but his career had a remarkable second act as a successful and versatile film director. From the mid-'80s to the early '90s, Reiner had a phenomenal run directing a diverse range of films. He practically invented the mockumentary with his musical comedy, This Is Spinal Tap.
If you can see, the numbers all go to 11.
There was the Stephen King coming-of-age story, Stand By Me, and the modern fairy tale, The Princess Bride.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And the classic romantic comedy, When Harry Met Sally.
Yes! Yes!
Which had that famous line delivered by his mom, Estelle.
I'll have what she's having.
Another Stephen King adaptation, Misery, earned an Oscar for leading lady Kathy Bates.
It's for the best.
While his military courtroom drama, A Few Good Men, had this famous exchange between Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Rob, son of TV comedy pioneer Carl Reiner, found it a challenge to step out from his father's shadow.
Getting in the door is important, but having staying power and being able to sustain a career at least on the level of or exceed your famous father or mother is very, very difficult. I mean, you're under an enormous pressure and scrutiny.
Rob Reiner was 78 years old. Police say Michele Reiner was 68 years old. If there are any updates in this story, we'll get them on wishtv.com. Police in Rhode Island have yet to make an arrest in the shooting at Brown University that left 2 people dead and 9 injured over the weekend. Police say they detained a man as a person of interest, but they are now releasing him. Amy Kiley reports on the investigation and the aftermath of the mass shooting.
Sometimes you head in one direction and then you have to regroup and go in another.
Police say someone who was a person of interest in connection to a mass shooting at Brown University is going free. They say they don't have enough evidence to keep him detained or to prosecute him. The Providence, Rhode Island police chief says authorities continue to investigate and
continue to do the work that we need to do to bring this person who's responsible to justice.
2 students are dead and 9 are injured after a shooter opened fire in a Brown classroom over the weekend.
In times of sadness and sorrow.
Community members are grieving, including with a vigil last night.
I was 15 years old when I was shot at my school, and I wasn't able to attend the vigil after the shooting. And, being here to support my community in any way I can is important to me.
This is an epidemic that's flooding our country, and to have it come so close to home is really, really hard to see.
While mourners remember the victims, witnesses remember the lockdown and shooting. This video shows students hiding in the library.
Police! Police! Providence police! Hands!
Until law enforcement found them. Others were in the room with the shooter.
The first couple gunshots went straight to the chalkboard, exactly where I was standing.
I'm Amy Kiley for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
In Australia, the Prime Minister says he will propose tougher gun laws after a mass shooting that targeted Hanukkah and a celebration among the Jewish community. Police in Sydney say the shooting at Bondi Beach yesterday left 15 people dead, including a child and at least 42 people injured. It is the deadliest shooting in Australia in almost 3 decades in a country with strict gun control laws. Police say the suspects are a father who had a gun license and his son. Police shot and killed the father while the other shooter is being treated at a hospital after a bystander subdued him. The Indianapolis Jewish community is coping with the violence in Australia. It comes as many people are gathering to celebrate the start of Hanukkah. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez reports on how local leaders are responding.
So following the news of the violence in Australia, leaders with the Indianapolis Jewish Federation, the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis, rather, took to social media to share sympathy with victims and condemn the violence. Despite the tragedy, the group still hosted a menorah lighting for the first night of Hanukkah. Organizers say that Hanukkah is usually a happy holiday representing Jewish triumph in dark times. During the lighting yesterday, people also prayed for those affected by the attack. Mark Swatez, CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis, called for unity both within and outside of the Jewish community.
And for this to happen on Hanukkah, which is this happy time of year, really drives home the meaning of Hanukkah in many ways. The holiday that celebrates our coming into light from darkness, which is exactly what we have to do right now.
In a statement last night, IMPD condemned the violence in Australia, adding that the department is increasing patrols around area synagogues and Jewish community centers. The statement goes on to say, in moments like these, we are reminded that the strength of our community is found in how we treat one another. Especially during the season, we must choose kindness, compassion, and love over hate. The Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis will continue to hold menorah lightings for each night of Hanukkah through Sunday. I'm Hernan Gutierrez for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
To politics now, our Wish TV political team says they do not expect serious primary opposition to the state Senate Republicans who voted against redrawing the state's congressional districts. That's despite promises from President Trump and Governor Mike Braun to support such challengers. It was our panel's topic on this week's episode of All Indiana Politics.
You had a lot of organizations speaking up against this, in addition to Hoosiers who took the day off, took work off, and decided to come down to the State House to testify on the day after a very big snow event as well. So you had a lot of organizations in addition. So not only did you have folks showing up from the counties way outlying Indianapolis, that just even more so shows that there's absolute intolerance for the overstepping that they were going to try with this.
Whitley, let's circle back to what you said about the Braun administration. You feeling like this is a win? Why do you think that?
Because in the grand scheme, what the administration was asking, or what he asked, was to know which senators were against redistricting, and it was important for constituents to know who is for and who's against. And so when Pro Tem Bray came out and said, hey, we're not going to be voting. We're not even going to vote. We're not even going to hear this in our special session. And then Governor Braun came back and said, oh, yes, you will. You're going to show up and you're going to do your jobs. That's how we have the vote now. That's how we know that 21 were nays and 19 were yeses. And if Governor Braun would have pushed for that, we would have never known and or not necessarily been in this position at all.
Go ahead, Lindsay.
I would argue it was such a waste of time. You know, we did hear some great legislation this week. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, aside from redistricting. But yeah, it was just such a distraction. You put Indiana on a national map for really unfortunate reasons, but it was great to see so many standard bearer legislators who have been fabric of this institution for decades. I mean, Jean Lysing, her quote was fabulous yesterday. It just said, well, they found out. You know, it was just fantastic. So I'd love to see that.
Do you think those Republicans should be worried about being primary?
I don't know if they care. I'll be honest with you. Those threats have come left and right, and I don't think folks are scared, and that their votes show that.
What about you, Whitley?
I think they will be primary, but I don't think that they will lose. I don't think they have anything to worry about, because when it comes to a lot of our Republican senators, they are deeply rooted and entrenched in their communities, which is probably why they voted the way that they did. I don't see them having as much dissension. And if that dissension does bubble up, I don't see them losing their race after their years of service.
You can see in-depth conversations like that every weekend on All Indiana Politics. It airs at 9:30 on Sunday mornings, only on Wish TV. Let's go to sports now and the Colts.
Hopefully, certainly I think of my sons and those ball players, that I'm in charge of at the school, that they'll say, like, crap, coach wasn't scared. You know what I mean? It's like, shoot, sometimes there is doubt, and it's real. And again, the guaranteed safe bet is to go home or to not go for it. And the other one is, shoot, let's see what happens.
Those are the emotional words from Philip Rivers after the Seahawks denied the Colts a storybook ending to his sudden comeback this week. Rivers had the Colts on the right track in Seattle. Second quarter touchdown pass to Josh Downs was his first in almost 5 years, and the Colts led the Seahawks at halftime. Seahawks took the lead, though, and new kicker Blake Grupe got it back for the Colts with a 60-yard field goal with 47 seconds left. The Colts defense could not stop Seattle from getting into a field goal range themselves. Seahawks, Jason Myers nailed his sixth field goal of the game from 56 yards out. Seattle ended up intercepting a desperate Philip Rivers pass and went on to beat the Colts 18-16.
Philip Rivers ran out onto this field behind me right here before the game, and I don't think many people ever expected to see Philip Rivers run out onto the football field again in an NFL game. But that was the case here in Seattle on Sunday, and Rivers didn't look half bad for a 44-year-old who hasn't played in the NFL in 5 years. He threw for 120 yards, along with an interception and a touchdown. Yes, the Colts lost, but the vibes still not too bad inside that locker room because, without question, Philip Rivers provided an extra boost for the team this week, and he is going to do so again going forward.
Very encouraged. There's no question about it. For him to go out there and do what he did after 5 years off, to have a chance to win it and get a game-winning field goal, close to it, obviously, with 40 seconds left in a hostile environment against a top defense, just shows, his commitment to coming back and playing the way he did and fighting like crazy.
Certainly that first time, you get the ball and you go out there and that thing gets cranked up and you go, dang. But where am I? I felt a little bit of a dream, honestly. All in all, disappointed. Thankful and nothing but gratitude from a standpoint of getting to be here and be a part of it again. But disappointed we didn't get it done. As
somebody said to me on the sideline, it was like, hey, Philip Rivers' first touchdown in 5 years. I'm like, dang, that's tough. So I can tell my kids I got a touchdown from a legend like that.
A lot of respect for Phil, everything that he gave us this entire week, and just his determination, his passion, fire that he played with. It's great to see, and just putting his body on the line.
When he got hit the first time, I said, look, it's just like riding a bike. You know what I mean? So, I feel like he kind of needed that a little bit to let him know, okay, he's good. And then, all I could ever hope for was us to get him in a 2-minute situation, and he came through. So I just feel like, we got to continue to grow, continue to be better as a team.
Despite all that praise and all those very encouraging words surrounding Philip Rivers, the quarterback will be the first to tell you he's disappointed that he could not lead the Colts to a victory here on Sunday. Rivers will have another chance to do that, though, next Monday night when the Colts host the 49ers back there inside Lucas Oil Stadium. It will be his first game inside Lucas Oil Stadium since his return this past week, and I think it's fair to say the crowd will go absolutely nuts when he runs out onto that field. In Seattle, Andrew Chernoff, Wish TV, and WishTV.com.
College football now, and I'm just going to say HeismanDoza. It is back to the practice field soon for Fernando Mendoza to get ready for the Rose Bowl, but there's still time to bask in the glory of him winning the Heisman Trophy on Saturday. Mendoza is the first Hoosier to ever win college football's top individual award, and he says he could not have done it without his coach and his teammates.
Maybe Coach Giannetti, maybe I was, maybe a little spice. However, we had the whole entire stake. That was the entire team that was already so well seasoned, coming off an 11-1 season. I'm just so honored to be a part of this team, to service them as possible, to service them, whether it's making efficient decisions on the field, whether it's trying my best as a leader or whatever it is. I'm just so honored to be part of that group of guys.
Mendoza told News 8 sports director Anthony Calhoun that he will keep the trophy in Bloomington because he says it belongs there.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.